I'm back with 6 more things that I would never do as a home buyer. Welcome back. I'm Bethany, a realtor in Columbia, South Carolina. And if you missed part 1, check the description for the link. Let's get right into it. The first thing that I would never do as a home buyer is forget that my home is an investment. When you buy a home, it is always an investment. It doesn't matter if you were living in it as a primary residence or if you're buying it as an income producing property. Always remember that your home is an investment and treat it that way when it's time for you to make decisions about things like repairs or cosmetic updates and what the best use of the home is when you need to think about selling or renting it so that you can move on to your next home. The second thing that I would never do as a home buyer is skip a survey. Y'all, one of my clients experienced this a couple years ago when they were buying a home downtown that had a small backyard. After having a survey done, we learned that the rear fence line did not belong to them, and in fact, it was almost 7 feet into the back neighbor's property line. They lost almost 7 feet from the depth of their backyard, which was already small. And thankfully, we were able to know that before they bought the home. I like to know exactly what I'm paying for, and I bet that you do too. You may think that you know where the property lines are when you're touring a home. Maybe there's a fence in place and it seems obvious, but there is zero guarantee that what you see is what you will get. Order the survey and solve the problem. The third thing that I would never do as a home buyer is only do a general inspection. Listen, I love my home inspector. He does a fantastic job and he is a wealth of knowledge and information, but I do not rely on him to be a jack of all trades. If there are special components of the home, like a pool or a chimney, a septic system, or even the heating and air system, I personally and professionally prefer to have someone separate do those inspections by a specialist in that area. I've noticed this most with heating and air inspections. A lot of home inspectors offer to do a basic inspection of the unit as being included in their general home inspection, and I'm not a fan of buyers relying solely on this. I've seen inspectors miss things that a heating and air specialist would have easily caught. When you have a mechanical component of your home, something that is constantly moving and working, then I want a specialist to look at it because I want to give myself the best chance of knowing the actual condition before it becomes my problem after closing. The fourth thing that I would never do as a home buyer is take advice from non-experts. Listen, a lot of people in your life are going to have opinions about your home buying process. So prepare yourself and get ready for their unsolicited advice. You need to decide upfront who you are going to allow to speak into your process, in what area it makes sense for them to have a voice. Your family and your friends, they know you really well, and they may give you great advice to help you pick the right area or neighborhood, or maybe even help you decide between 2 homes if you're torn. But they might not be the best people to advise you on things like the condition of the home or your offer strategy. Years ago, I was representing a seller and the contract on the home fell through because of the buyer's father. He was insistent that the home's electrical system was faulty and that the home was going to burn down. He was not an electrician. He was not a contractor. He was not an inspector. None of those things. It was just his personal opinion. The buyer never bothered to bring in an actual electrician to check on things. They just listened to their father. They ended up asking the seller to completely rewire the home. And of course, they were met with a very firm nope. In the end, nothing was wrong with the electrical system, guys, and everyone knew that. But the buyer chose to listen to their father and they backed out of the deal. The fifth thing I would never do as a home buyer is I would never go on showings without getting pre-approved. Starting your home search is really exciting, and I understand the urge to want to tour homes in person. But as a real estate professional, I would never go looking at homes for myself without having my pre-approval in place. 2 things need to qualify for the loan. that is you, the buyer, based on your financials, and then the home itself based on its conditions and various other factors related to the loan. Getting pre-approved is about more than just figuring out your max purchase price. It's also about making sure that you're looking at homes that are going to qualify for your financing. So get with the lender early on and have that pre-approval in place so that you are not spending time and energy and gas looking at homes that are not going to work out for you. The sixth thing that I would never do as a home buyer, I would never buy new construction without my own agent. The agent on site in a new home community might be fantastic, but they work for the builder, and the builder is the seller of the home. They are there to represent and work for the best interests of their builder and seller client, not to advocate for you as the home buyer. Before you go out to a new home community, contact your agent and be sure that you take them with you. Every builder has different policies about what stage in the process you can bring in your own representation. Your buyer's agent is going to work on your behalf and represent what is best for you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out part 1 of this series now. I'll see you there.